Hello. How are you doing today? Ready to go to school? New Year resolution time, 2023. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty hard on the bod. I'm making a real effort to try to work out before work as many days as I can, which is tough when you've got an infant and a toddler, not gonna lie. But we're here. So this is usually, not every day, the first thing I do after I drop the baby off. And also after I punish her, according to that one commenter. Unreal. Babies are good. Workout is done. I am refreshed, ready to actually see people. I have a pretty busy day today. My wife is an ER doctor where I work, and she loves to give me extra work. So I know she's given me a dog with a spinal cord problem as one of my ER transfers. Thank you very much, Liz. I have a post-op dog who I did surgery on for a spinal tumor on Monday to look at. ER might have more things for me, and my appointment's starting in about 45 minutes. So it's going to be pretty busy today, and you guys are going to come along for the ride just so you can see what a veterinarian and a veterinary specialist, a neurologist in this case, does during the day. Here's my inpatient. This is Daisy. Hello, Daisy. Daisy had surgery. I did what's called a laminectomy at T1 to T3 in her spine because Daisy, even though she's 3 years old, about 3 years old, we diagnosed a spinal tumor right about at that level. I'll show you the MRI. But we did surgery on Monday and she's doing great. She's able to stand up. She's able to walk around. She's pretty comfortable. She's eating, so we're at day 2 post-op. We're gonna send Daisy home today and wait on the histopath, see what that says. Hopefully it's something treatable, and it takes a very long time to grow back because she's very sweet. You can see her. She's very gentle, very sweet and gentle dog. And your mama loves you very much. And I'll put a video of my emergency transfer here. This is like a bulldog mix who has a history of his back legs just being very weak to where he can't stand up and walk. So we're gonna do an MRI on him today, see what he's got. He's gonna have either a disc herniation or a tumor, I would guess, maybe meningitis, maybe a stroke, but probably a disc herniation if I had to say. So we might be doing surgery on him. So that's the day so far, and it's 8:30, so I'm gonna start appointments at 9. We've got 3 appointments, and I'm gonna start my scan while I'm in appointments, and then leave my appointments and go to surgery, if that makes sense. I'll kind of walk you through it. But let's call these owners and then I will get to the appointments. It is now 10:22 in the morning. I have looked at a emergency transfer of a severely paraparetic basset hound who I very strongly suspect had a herniated disc as well, but the owner wanted to think about things, and so we sent the dog home with some pain medication and instructions for strict rest. Generally speaking, when dogs have this level of function, they've got about a kind of a fair prognosis for getting better from a disc herniation just with time and rest, not chiropractic. The owner was not ready to spend, all the money required to do an MRI surgery, which I totally get. Where I work, it costs about $6,000 to $7,000 or so for a case like that to do an MRI and surgery somewhere in that neighborhood. So it's cheap compared to a lot of other places, but it's still very expensive, right? So that dog's gonna go home and recheck with me in 2 weeks. And then my first appointment was a cat with vertigo who had an episode about a week and a half ago, but is doing well now. So the owners wanted to just kind of take a wait and see approach, which again, totally reasonable. I'm about to start the MRI on my emergency transfer, and then I've got one more appointment to do while the MRI is starting. So I'll catch you guys up on that one in just a second. Here's the results of our MRI on our friend. Right here, we have the lumbar spine. All of these little rectangles are lumbar vertebrae. These are the discs in between, and this is the spinal cord running on top. This is L7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and T13. Okay, so it's the whole lumbar spine. So what I see right here is a big old cigar-shaped wad of this kind of black to gray material, all centered over this disc. This is the 7654445 disc. So it looks like our friend here has an L45 herniated disc. You can see how it's lifting up the spinal cord. See how the gray tube is coming down, and then you see how it gets tented over that. So that needs to come out. So that's what we're gonna do surgery on today. Let's go help this guy. Okay, so just finished that surgery. It went pretty well. This dog, basically when I got in there into a spinal canal, had like a huge amount of disc that looked like crab meat piled up around his spinal cord and his nerve roots. So this is L3, 4, 5. And we did what's called a laminectomy or a hemilaminectomy from L3 to L5 on the left. This is the left side. So picture the dog's head over there. We drilled a little oval like this through this side of the spine. And that allows us to access the inside of the spinal canal where you see that tube that represents the spinal cord. That's where it would be. We got in there, see from this angle, we got into where the spinal cord would live. And what I saw, like I said, was a bunch of crab meat kind of sitting in and around and packed around the spinal cord. So once I got this oval opened up, scooped all the stuff out. It was kind of makes that noise coming out. And I watched the spinal cord get decompressed and kind of sit where it should like this. I was very happy with how the surgery went. Dog's doing great under anesthesia and waking up right now. It is about 3:30. And I am going to be doing some owner callbacks and catching up on paperwork, stuff like that for a little bit, which is so exciting. I know you're just dying to see me do paperwork. Gonna do that for a little bit, and then hopefully I can pick up my kids from daycare. So, and I'm also, yeah, what else are we doing? Oh, one other thing I'm doing is watching the ER board, because if anything with neurologic disease comes in through the ER, I'll try to just see it directly the rest of the day. I'm kind of stalked on the whiteboard, as we call it. But yeah, basically doing that, doing some paperwork, calling back owners about test results and whatnot, and hopefully get out of here on time to pick up my kids. So I would call this a mild to moderately busy day. We had our inpatient spinal tumor post-op who went home. She's looking great. We saw an emergency transfer that was close to paralyzed, but not quite, who we did surgery on today for a herniated disc, and he's looking pretty good. He's pretty happy in his cage right now after surgery. Surgery went great, like I said. We saw another basset hound with another blown disc, probably, whose owner did not want to do an MRI, so she just wanted to try medical management. We saw our appointments, which was a vestibular cat who I think has chronic ear infections. And then we saw a Maltese mixed dog with collapse episodes who I think is just due to having pulmonary hypertension, would be my guess. So that was other appointment. There was one more in there. I guess not. Typical Wednesday. Wednesday's in the middle of the week, so you don't get the weekend dump, and then you don't get the Friday craziness of people kind of going into the weekend. So we'll see what tomorrow holds, and it's now time to pick up my babies. Let's go see what my babies are doing. Guys, it's about 9:30. I put my kids to bed, had dinner, watched the show. Me and my wife are watching Slow Horses on Apple TV. Really good show. I definitely recommend it. Hope you enjoyed this day in the life of a veterinary neurologist. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, everybody.